everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren. For those of you who are new here, welcome. And for those who haven't seen me in a while, welcome back. So I know what everybody's thinking. Where have I been? If you don't know, my last video here was probably about around the summer of 2020. So where have I been? Let me catch you up. So 2020, as we all know, is just crazy with coronavirus, quarantine, and social distancing and everything else that came with it. So 2020 for me was crazy. Right at the beginning of the pandemic, I moved, as you remember, from Virginia to North Carolina. If you don't know anything about that, I'll link that video down below. Take a look, just how I got here. So I again moved to North Carolina, from Virginia. And I really wanted to move just to get out of the college town I was living in, and I wanted to start somewhere new. So I moved here, and I've been here now for a year. It's actually been a year and a couple of days that I've moved here. Anyway, like I was saying, beginning of 2020, I moved to North Carolina and I started a new job. And luckily, because COVID was going on, position was just work from home. So it was great. I worked from home and I was working sort of like a data analyst position at a gas company. They make like gas pumps for gas stations, obviously. So I was working there, doing great. And while I was working there, I saw an opportunity for another job. And I just saw it, but I really wasn't thinking anything of it. But I applied because, I don't know, I just did. It was like one of those LinkedIn easy apply where they just need your resume, you don't have to fill nothing in. My favorite way of applying, so I did it. So I applied to the job, and that was like a Friday that I applied. Sunday night, I get an email at, like, mind you, 11 o'clock at night. Who sends an email? A job anyway. Asking, could I interview and could I come tomorrow? Meaning Monday, from the Friday that I submitted the application. So I was surprised because that was really quick, but I happened to be off that Monday, so I was like, why not? So I had my interview, and let's say this, red flag number one, how fast they interviewed me. That was my red flag that I missed. Second red flag, go to the interview, and this is for a data operations analyst position. So the interview, I get there's two people interviewing me, and the one lady's like, I'm hungry, so I'm gonna eat my lunch while we interview. And I'm like, okay, do you? She's the boss. Anyway, the other girls that was there, she was kind of in the position that I was going into, and she kind of ran the show. The boss really didn't know what she was talking about. So they're asking the basic questions, and then they're like, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to ask. And I'm thinking to myself, you're the interviewing me, so you should have questions you want answered. You should be speaking to the position. You should be speaking to the company. They didn't have anything prepared. So at this point, I'm thinking to myself, although I have these red flags, I'm trying to save the interview for my sake, So I just started simply selling myself. I'm speaking to my work ethic, my previous experiences, college experience. I'm speaking to everything. I'm giving them the lowdown of everything. I'm shooting out technical terms that I think are basic if you're coming into like data analytics, dealing with like coding, that sort of thing. So I say, I know SQL. They're like, what's that? That was red flag number 2 or 3 at this point. And I'm thinking to myself, this girl says she's been a data analyst for 3 years and she doesn't know what that is. So I'm thinking maybe she just doesn't know the acronym. So I say structured query language. She goes, oh, I haven't heard of that. I said, oh, okay. I said, well, whatever. At this point, I know it. So maybe I can come on here that'll show that I know something they don't know. And then after the interview, they're like, oh, let's give you a tour. They're giving me a tour. Oh, this would be your office. Oh, this is, where this is, blah, blah, blah. I leave. Don't think nothing of it. And I go back home, and the next day, I'm working my regular job. That's it. A week later, I get a phone call from a recruiter at that company, and they're offering me the position. And I'm surprised, but I'm like, whatever. The money was great, had benefits, everything. So, thought about it, prayed about it, asked, I asked my boyfriend, asked my mom and my dad, what do they think? So ultimately I decided to do it because it was a new opportunity. I felt like I could contribute well to the company, and I just felt, I had a good gut feeling, Okay, my camera died. So like I was saying, I had a good gut feeling. So I took the job. So that was November 2020 that I did that. Started, you know how you start, you go through orientation, training, all of that. So I get to orientation, this is like my first day. And my boss is like, I don't remember how to do like, the tax paperwork. She was like, haven't hired anybody in 5 years. Red flag number 4. I said, oh, okay. So it took her a while to get my computer set up, to even have like a login, all typical stuff that should be done the first day. Had a plan, took weeks. The same week I started in November was the week of Thanksgiving. So this is like a Monday, Thanksgiving's this Thursday. So I'm already off first week, Thursday, Friday. So I'm hyped, okay? Because I ain't gotta work. And I made it just in time for the vacation days. So week goes by, off for Thanksgiving, come back the next week for Monday. Now, in my position, I was supposed to be ordering and setting up new markets, let's say like mini stores. And so the person who was training me never had time to train me. So a lot of the work I was actually doing was me just figuring out things, and having somebody check over when I was done, because nobody showed me exactly how to do it. Not that I didn't know how to do the work, but sort of the procedures and policies for how certain things had to be done a certain way. So Christmas comes around, and before I started the job, I told them that I was going to need a week off because I had a pre-planned vacation. And they said fine, that was great. So took my week vacation for Christmas. When I come back, my boss calls me in for a meeting. Now mind you, I'm working from home, and so when she calls me in, I'm like, okay, whatever, we'll have a check-in meeting. I go to the meeting, I come in, and she goes, excuse me, she goes, I'm gonna have to write you up. I'm like, write me up? And that's what I'm thinking in my head anyway. I'm trying to keep a straight face. Never in my life have I been written up at work. It doesn't even happen. I don't even know how it happens. So I'm like, for what? And she says, things weren't done the correct way. Now, I'm telling her things weren't done the correct way because somebody showed me how to do it in the correct way. I've asked several times. It's not been done. So she gives me a write-up. I'm upset, of course. And for the first time, really, I'm really, the anxiousness of feeling like I have to perform even more to sort of get back in good graces. So I'm doing that, and in the way I'm doing that, this is me working on weekends. I'm working past 5 o'clock when I'm not supposed to be. I mean, at one point I was working 12-hour days when I'm supposed to just work 8 to 5. So it became very overwhelming. It became very tiresome, and I felt like I don't know, I felt outnumbered in the sense of I was young, I was black, and in my building it was me and one other black girl. So right there, I just felt like they're looking for a way out for me, you know. It was horrible. Anyway, so the write-up was like, you know, happened. 2 weeks later, come back for another meeting, and she's like, we're gonna have to let you go. So that happened. I'm not gonna get into all of whatever. It happened. I was over it, and I really just felt like I was in place. I just needed a break. So this was, you know, fine. In the meantime, I had, you know me, I was already applying to other jobs, so I didn't really care about them. I wasn't seeking to try to get that job back or anything. So I was applying to jobs, applying. I don't know how many applications and interviews I did, and it was just like, you know, during the whole 2020, I saw so many people talk about, you know, losing their job in the pandemic, and thankfully that hadn't happened to me until it did. And you know, I was almost like, I watch other people go through it, but I don't know. I don't know who I thought I was to think that it couldn't happen to me. So it was very much a reality check, and it very much was a humbling experience, because it really allowed me to take a look at myself, take a look at my career, my goals, things of that nature. And it really allowed me to figure out what it is that I wanted in life, because I felt like prior to then I was so comfortable in a job. I was just comfortable with going every day, coming home, going every day, coming home, and I kind of use that as like a crutch, you know. I use that as a crutch to, I don't know, put me in some type of hierarchy of, you know, I made it here and other people are here. I don't know, I kind of felt better than other people. And here I was in a situation, I ain't better than nobody. In fact, I'm with them. Not to say that where I am was a bad place, but I was with them, so it was very humbling. I couldn't rely on, oh, I'm Lauren who's a data analyst. It was, oh, I'm Lauren who's unemployed, and who actually is Lauren. So hindsight looking, it was very humbling, and I'm very grateful for it. So all that to say, you know, that happened. Right after that happened, a week later, I got diagnosed with COVID, and that was horrible. So I was now unemployed with COVID and no health insurance. It was great. It's like, it was hard. You know, COVID itself was hard. Luckily, I didn't have to go to the hospital. I didn't need that. But, you know, I was able to rest at home and get better, and I'm great now. Just recently, I just turned 27, so shout outs to me. You know, I just had a birthday just a couple of days ago, this past Wednesday. Today's Saturday. So all of that's happened. Just to catch you guys up on, I've started a new venture as far as career is concerned, and I'm excited to talk to you all about it, get you up to speed on what I'm doing now. So stay tuned to see that video explaining what I'm doing now, what I'm up to, and sort of just, you know, what I want to do moving forward. I am committed to growing this channel, to making more videos. So I need you to help me keep myself accountable. But you keep me accountable too. Let me know in the comments sort of what you like to see from me. I'm thinking about doing some more just vlogs. Not that I have anything really to vlog. I'm kind of boring, but you know, I'll bring you along for that. I'm gonna do some day in the life videos, anything that I feel needs to go. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up, you subscribe down below, and make sure to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Yeah, that's it.